Why are you here right now? And that's a fantastic question. You don't know why you're here. Well, I'm going to tell you why. You don't know enough about Elder Athletics. Sure, you'll know about the football season, maybe a little bit about soccer, and once the winter season rolls around, you'll pay attention to basketball. But you don't know half the stuff that's going on. Now, that's my job. I'm Eric Mason. I'm that bridge between what you don't know and what you want to know about Elder Athletics. That's why I'm here. That's why this desk is here. That's why these lights are on. And that's why you are watching me. Because this is the purple coverage. So I'm here to inform you guys about Elder Athletics because frankly, nobody really knows what's going on with the Panthers these days. Heck, I didn't even know for a while what's going on with the Panthers. It's really just stuff that I commentated, and that's really it. That's all that I paid attention to. And of course, football and basketball. But you're here to know about everything. So let's go ahead and start off with soccer. So soccer has had, a pretty successful season so far, 2-1-1. Their home opener, their season opener, was against Baden. They won 3-1, and they showed us what the Panthers are all about. Carson Pruitt and Bryce Kelly both had goals. Carson had 2 goals. Bryce started off the season with his. So they showed some talented players within the soccer program. So they are going to look super successful this year. However, they then lost to Sycamore 2-1, then tied Kings. Last game on Tuesday, though, they beat McNick 4-0. We're still waiting on word for who scored those goals and what all happened. But 4-0, man, that is something else. Scoring 4 goals in soccer. I know last year they scored, I believe, 6 against Roger Bacon. I don't know about you. I'm not the biggest soccer fan because it's slow, and it's because people don't score that much. And now 4? Come on. Elder's offense is looking dominant. But you also got to look at Owen Schwartz. Second in the GCL in saves, 11 saves. He is keeping the ball out of the net, quite frankly. First shutout on Tuesday against McNick. So the Panthers are looking really good this year. Now, on Saturday, they're going to be coming back home to be playing the Fairmont Firebirds. They're coming from the Greater Western Ohio Conference. Currently, they are 1-0-2. They have 2 ties so far on the season. Their last game, though, was a win. They tied the first 2, then won. They won 2-1 on Saturday against Alter. Senior Aaron Black scored 2 goals. Now, Aaron Black is going to be a player we're going to be looking out for. He currently has 6 points and 3 goals on the season. That is second in the WOC. And then also senior Freddie Iricose. Freddie Iricose, that's correct. So 6 points as well, which he's tied for second. 2 goals, which is fourth. And 2 assists, which is also second in the GWOC. So those are some players that we're going to look out for on Saturday, and you can watch it on the broadcast, by the way. I'll be on the call. But yeah, and so Elder, they have got some competition against Fairmont, so we'll have to see how they do. But some players to watch for Elder, Carson Pruitt. I mean, I was talking about him a little bit earlier. 6 points, first in the GCL. 3 goals, first in the GCL. He's not even a striker, fellas. Not even a striker. He comes in out of nowhere and scores these goals. He is something talented, going to be something talented. And he's showing his colors so far this season. So he's somebody to look out for Elder. Now, as well as Owen Schwartz, already talked about him. 11 saves, first shutout of the year. Last year, he had 4.5 shutouts. He was a starter last year. He is going to be something special this year. Now, these 2 teams, not the first time they've clashed. However, it's pretty close. They've only played each other twice. Currently, the series is tied 1-1. Their first matchup, 2024. So that was my sophomore year. That's correct. Yeah, 2 years ago. Sophomore year, 2024 at home. That was a 4-1 victory for the Panthers. However, next game was away. 2025 rolls around. They lost 1-0. So these 2 teams, not a whole lot of history but they're going to be clashing it up against each other on Saturday. So make sure you pull up to the game because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Triple header as well, so all levels are going to be up there at the Pack. We'll be broadcasting. I'll be on the call on varsity. So watch soccer, fellas, because it's going to be a good one. Next coming up is golf.
Tired of used car stress? Buying pre-owned shouldn't feel risky. At Kelsey Chevrolet, we make it easy. Every pre-owned vehicle comes with our peace of mind promise. Kelsey Family Pricing, a hassle-free live market pricing approach, lifetime powertrain protection, and guaranteed credit approval, plus 18 acres of pre-owned vehicles. More choice, less stress. All of which go through our 10-day peace of mind reconditioning process. Drive confident today while we drive peace of mind on every pre-owned ride. From our family to yours, Kelsey Chevrolet.
As you probably know, golf season is nearly halfway done. And that's just because it starts so dang early, and I thought of this show last week. So we're going to kind of catch up on what we've missed so far in the golf season by starting off with meeting our captains.
I picked up a club probably like early preschool, kindergarten, just hitting the driving range, Happy Gilmore swings. I first got serious. I subbed for my sister's team in grade school, and then from there on, it's just been a grind.
So why'd you start golfing?
It's just fun. I mean, it's just something different to get out and you're playing with yourself. It's pretty much, it is a team sport, but whenever you compete, you get better as a person too. Just keep grinding. Oh, that's my dad. Yeah, he was coaching the team and they needed subs, so I'm a few years younger and they put me on the team and I shot better than all the girls, so I just kept playing from there. I really did, yeah. Once late grade school, I knew I just wanted to be that next person up there, just swinging that club, playing for Elder, hoping to be team captain, and it paid off.
Going through the freshman tryouts, how nervous were you?
It was kind of nervous because I knew there was a lot of sophomores coming back. And it turned out there's only 2 spots available for freshmen, so it was pretty crazy. I just took one lesson, trusted my swing, practiced putting and chipping every day, and it worked, so I made the team. So the first day was 9 holes at Miami Whitewater. After that, I came back, I was pretty confident. I was one of the better scorers out of the freshmen trying out. And then we went into day 2 at Newman. That was 18 holes, so after that I shot good again, and I was pretty confident that I made the team, and came out that I found out that I made the team, so it's pretty good.
Would you say that's one of your favorite memories here, playing golf?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Just thinking back, it was hard to make it, especially with only 2 kids making it, so I'm really proud of myself and the work I put in to make the team.
Now, what was going through your head when your coach told you that you were going to be a team captain?
It was right after our tryouts this year, and I was just instantly amazed. I thought it was pretty great, and then he named Michael co-captain, so we're here together, and we're going to take this team to state. Just lead this team, take it as far as we can. Whenever someone has a question, or if I can help out anywhere, during practices or during matches, just to keep our confidence high.
Team captain, how do you bring guys together to really form a team?
It's really just you find the right guys, and we're all good friends now. It's pretty fun. So it's just, if someone comes in with a bad round, obviously you're gonna give them a little whatever for it, and then just you go from there. Practice together, play together, and just get better together.
Now, what's your game like now that you're a captain? Do you try to focus more than yourself, or does it keep you away from your game?
For me, it's just when I get on the golf course, everything just goes blank. I just focus on the next shot, the next hole. Fairway green 2-putt is what I hope for, and just go on from there. We're gonna make it far. Whatever. I mean, we already saw a little good win in the early season, and I think we can carry that on. Get through sectionals, get through districts, and then we're on to state and see what we can do from there.
I started first golfing at age 4, and I just picked up a club my dad played, and I just have played since. Nah, he picked it up after high school, and he just got me into it, and so I played with him, and then continued to do that and started to play competitively, and now I'm here at Elder. Yeah, I mean, I have dream playing here, and hopefully winning state and bringing state to Elder here. That's never happened, so it's a dream that we have. freshman tryouts. Well, the first day, very nervous. Struggled a little bit, eased into it. Got to know the team, and came back the second day. Played good enough to play up here on varsity, and I was super happy and one of the best moments. Well, I think that's up there. I mean, just all the memories of Elder Golf, being with the team, and getting improved, and just the team camaraderie we have. It's just fun. I was very honored. I seen 2 team captains in Case and Jack Ross before me. I knew what the role had, and that it's a big honor to help our teammates out and make them be the best players we can. And that's our job as us as leaders, as our captains. It means to be a leader, to lead by example, and to not only worry about how I can play golf, but to worry to better the team. And so that's what it means for me. Expectations to play our best, and we're gonna go win the GCL and hopefully make it to state and compete out there. So that's my expectations.
Michael Mormon and Tyler Lips, ladies and gentlemen, names to remember because there are going to be some stud captains and some stud players for the Panthers this year. Now, in case you don't know, I started golf, and I'm not just saying that to say that. I'm here to prove a point, and that's because from experience, I know that you have no idea where it's going. The ball, that is, and the season. Panthers graduated a lot of great seniors. Didn't know how it was going to roll this season, but man, it's been one heck of a ride. 2.5 weeks ago, Panthers waltzed into the Centerville Invitational, and they beat out 20 teams. That's right, they win the Elk Invite, as they call it. Low for Elder from Michael Mormon himself, 3 under par, total score of 69, that is. And the Panthers go out of that tournament winning it and a runner-up. And that last Sunday, Alexander Invitational, 15 teams there. They say, there's no way we're going to win another one. Well, you'd be wrong, because the Panthers did. They came out once again in another tourney runner-up coming out of Louis Malilo. Total score of 75. Also, Vinny Glassmeyer, 77, close behind him. Mormon and Lips, 78. And Newman, 79. So those guys play fantastic, and they say, all right, now we won 2 tournaments. Okay, we won 2 tournaments. There's no way we're going to win a third, right? Well, last Monday, Roger Bacon Invitational. 13 teams there now, and the Panthers come out on top again. That's right, I know, it's insane. Who knew Elder Golf was so good? Well, the Panthers are here to prove us wrong, because Michael Mormon, not just your captain, your junior captain that is, but a tourney medalist. That's right. 1 under par wins it, and a total score of 70. Tyler Lips, close behind him, 71. Neck and neck those two are. And then Louis Malilo, close, 73. Noah Newman, 75. Hold on. Quick math here. Definitely don't have it written down in front of me. 289 the final score. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that was, 1, a course record, and 2, it was a new all-time team low in an 18-hole record. I don't even know this. How long has Elder Golf been around? Heck, I don't think Mr. Rogers can even tell you. And he's been here for ages, it feels like. But the Panthers are having one historic season. Now they're going to continue that season coming up on Thursday at Western Hills for the Best of the West Invitational. Now, I don't know when this is going to be going out, but it's probably going to be, let's go to the present here, today. Panthers, they got to be showing up because they got to keep winning it so they can potentially maybe even go to state. Now, next up, cross country. Cross country, everybody. Now, the Panthers are running into business here. I don't know if that looked really stupid or if it kind of looked creative. Going for creative, and I don't know what else I was going for. Not very athletic, not much of a runner, but these Panthers are, that's for sure. They are coming out of a time of dormant. They've been waiting to run for months. They've been training for months, and it's nearly here. Friday is the Moeller Primetime Invitational at Christ Church in Mason. It's here. Cross-country season is finally back. The cold weather, it doesn't seem like it right now. It's coming. It's coming soon. And cross-country is here to stay. So the Panthers starting out on Friday. Dylan Cooper is going to be a name to remember. Possibly go up to state once it gets to that time. We don't know. But there's a lot of great runners to look out for, and we'll get into that as they start playing here shortly. But that's cross-country. Next, we're going into football.
Pension Corporation of America has been Greater Cincinnati's trusted 401k management partner for over 40 years. Learn why our clients have come to expect more from a 401k company. Give us a call about your 401k needs at 513-PCA-401k.
That's right, everybody. Finally, it's time to relax. Because football season's here. We can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Or you can be like normal people and stress the hell out with the team. Because that's what this Elder environment is. We are locked in on football, so that is why we are doing this. Football season is back and better than ever. We all know what the Panthers did last year. Went to the regional finals, lost to X. Tragic loss. Despite that, fantastic season. Won the GCL for the first time since 2008. Went 10-0 for the first time since 91. Coach James was on that team, by the way. Coach Ramsey was an assistant coach. Yes, it's been that long. No offense, Coach James, but it has been that long. But the Panthers finally redeemed themselves. I'm not saying redeem themselves because they have had some great years. But Elder football is back, and they are better than ever. Going into the season, they were ranked top 2 in Ohio. They were ranked top 80 in Max Preps. I can't even remember the last time that the Panthers were ranked in the top 100 prior to the first game, because everybody always looks at our players and says, now, wait a minute. These are just some kids rounded up from local grade schools, some from the east side, some a little bit up north. These guys aren't going to do anything. Yeah, we'll throw a crappy power ranking in there and just call it a day. Well, no, people are actually keeping their eyes on the Elder Panthers. And they showed us why last Friday against the Middletown Middies. Now, I don't need to speak. I'm just going to let the footage speak for itself. Let's look at some highlights here. Now the Panthers start out in the pit. Wild crowd, blitz 5. Now defense stepping up early. Brody Turner tackle for loss. Now Major Kittles and Braden Tepe continuing the stump for the combined sack. Now the offense gets the ball, and Andrew Lyman gets his first touchdown. Excuse me. First of many, I should add. We'll get to that later. Major Kittles, more like major pain in the rear for the Middies after that sack. Estep had an amazing passing game, 195 yards in fact, finding Jake Beer there. Then, the magic man, Andrew Lyman, continues to perform, earning his second touchdown of the night. Tyler Homan also showing his colors, going 4 for 4 on PATs. You thought Estep's passing game was good. Well, look at this spin move. Whoop! Broken ankles, and now he's got the jailbreak. He's going down the line, trying to continue this sentence because he is going all the way in the end zone for the Panther touchdown. Now that's Estep's third of the night. I think Pete Rose smiled down on Pete Fortcamp on this hustle play, even in the dive too. That's right. Fly high, Peter Pan. Fly high. I don't know what's more beautiful, the Mona Lisa or this shot and throw by Caden Estep. Lyman, 3, Estep, 4. However, this ain't a two-man show. Secondary stepping up all night to prevent the big plays. Braden Ackerman and Ty Roden in on the coverage on that play. Then who else but Max Dugan dropping the hammer for the Middies. What better way to finish it out than another Estep to Lyman touchdown. Will Summers had something to say on this play, and I quote, "Are you kidding? No, they are not." Final score, 35-3, an Elder victory. What a game it was for the Panthers. I was down there on the sidelines. The crowd was slow to arrive, but when they did, they were loud. And you guys need to show up and be loud for this Panther squad. Now, The Panthers played amazing. So amazing, in fact, that the other team only had 2 dose. I don't even know 2 in any other language. 2 rushing yards. Are you... 2? Elders' front 7 is amazing. It's insane. Major Kittle's in there. Tepe in there. Turner in there. And I can just keep on naming some. Cardinal, whoever. Front 7 is amazing. It's solid. And they need it to be solid moving forward if Elder wants to be successful. Now a quick preview for this Friday. Playing the Covington Catholic Colonels. Elders played Covington Catholic about 8 times, and they haven't lost yet. That's right, 8-0 record against CovCath. So the Panthers going into CovCath on the road for the first time ever. Or, excuse me, second time ever. Last time was in 2022. So the Panthers have to show up. We need the portable pit, boys. That's correct. Because the Panthers are going into Covington Catholic. Now, all I really know about CovCath is that they beat Ryle 50-6. Now, we can't really base everything off of that judgment because it's all different. You never know what's going to happen between Kentucky teams and Ohio teams. So I only know a few things. So why don't we talk to the man himself, Coach Doug Ramsey.
They've got some good players. They've got a defensive lineman, plays offensive line too. He's going to go play at Army. They've got a linebacker, tight end who's going to play at Ball State. They've got another kid that's being recruited, another linebacker's being recruited. So they've got some high-end players. They've got some good size in certain positions. They run around. I tell our guys all the time, they're very much like us. There's a whole bunch of guys that love playing football. They love playing for their school. They play hard. They're not going to give up. So, it's going to be a good challenge. It's 28-0, our 8-point game last year, 28-20, and they had the ball. They had a chance to tie the game late against us. So, I'm expecting it to be a tough game. Well, I think we're going to be pretty much a pass team. Having, a 3-year quarterback that's a really good player, probably the best receiving core that I think I've had in my 30 years of being a head coach. So we'll probably rely upon that quite a bit. But again, we're going to have to run the ball. And I think Talon's going to be very good at that. Caden can obviously run the ball. Jake Beer's going to have some opportunities to run the ball. But I think we'll be a team that's going to lean on the pass.
Okay, so do you think CovCath is good at defending the pass, or is that just...
I think the thing that's a little concerning, I think they get a pretty good pass rush. I think Jack Kirch is going to have to have a big night. Their best player, I talked about the defensive lineman, always lines up to offense's left. So Jack's going to be having to block that guy every play. I think we match up pretty well against their secondary, though.
Does Jack know that he's...
Oh, yeah, he knows that. Oh, yeah. But there's things that we can do, and in the game plan, we'll get him some help on that guy as well. Physically was really good. We had a couple mental mistakes. The 2 times that Caden got hit were both mental mistakes. I thought physically, when we knew what we were doing, they did a really good job, especially in the pass game. There was a couple times on the goal line we got overpowered. They had a really good D lineman last year. Last week, he's going to Northwestern, and down the goal line, he knocked our lineman back in the backfield a little bit and kind of caused some problems for us there. But overall, I thought they did a pretty good job. Yeah, just all the mental stuff and understanding, hey, down in the goal line, man, they're going to try to keep you from scoring. They're going to, it's going to be a little bit different down there. So I think it's a learning experience. You think about the O-line, 4 of those guys have never really played in a varsity game. That was their first varsity game as an offensive lineman, and going against a pretty good defense. So, like I said, I thought they did a pretty good job.
What do you tell those guys who've never started a varsity game before?
Just play. It's a game. You played JV games, you played freshman games. It's not any different as far as playing. It's just there's more people watching you.
So how do you teach them to write off the energy of the pit, the cheering section, all that?
We don't. I think they grow up with it. They understand it. Because I think, and sometimes it gets to them. I thought Caden early in the game was a little bit too jacked up. He had a couple runs where he's trying to run people over, and I'm like, no, just, you get into the secondary, people just slide, don't take hits, those kinds of things. But I think we always just go, I think that's the one thing that we do talk about, just trying to keep that even keel. You can't get too excited too many times in a season. You know what I mean? It's like we play a lot of good teams. So if you're really excited for 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to have a letdown eventually. We just try to, just keep that same approach. And we always talk about it's just about us. It's not about who we're playing. It's about what we do. And if we play well and do things we're supposed to do, and somebody's good enough to beat us, well, good for them. Let's not us make mistakes or play poorly and give them a chance to win the game. If they're good enough to beat us, then they're good enough to beat us. It's pretty good. Their fans are excited. It's a small stadium, so people were on top of you, and it was fun. Last time we were down there, I thought it was a really good experience, and we kind of jumped on them early in that game and kind of rolled to a win. Hopefully, we can do the same kind of thing this week. It's nothing. It's just the same. So I think the thing is, in the games we're playing, the atmospheres are going to be very much like the Pit. Not as big, The Cub-Cath game is going to be, a good crowd in a small venue. It's going to be loud. Highlands is going to be the same type of thing. It's a small stadium, but people will be very excited. And then when we play Moeller up at Dayton, I'm expecting there to be a good crowd for that one. So it's a similar thing. It's just, and we'll still have a good number of people there that are cheering for us. So it's not bad. I think our kids thrive in those situations too. Get better. I think that's the thing that we talk about every time we go out, and everything you do is to get better than you were the day before.
Thank you, Coach, for doing that. And that's just some words from Coach Ramsey. And listening to that reminds me. Oh wait, remember that one flaw? I should say 2 flaws that the Panthers thought they would have going into the season: the offensive line and the secondary. I sort of mentioned the secondary in the highlight read over that offensive line. No offense to them, but I was a little worried because last year we were gifted with a phenomenal offensive line. Guys who played at the varsity level for multiple years. Nicholas Casero, literally everybody played for 2 years because he was a junior at the time. Now he's a senior. He's going to be the 3rd time. So there was experience on the offensive line. There was big guys on the offensive line. There was a ton of guys who were going to college to be an offensive lineman. Now, this year, it's a whole new refresh. Everybody played on JV. You don't know how you're going to do at the varsity level. And that is my mistake, that I underestimated you guys. I'm sorry. I can apologize. I'll apologize for the people who did underestimate you because you showed up. You showed out. Coach Ramsey said a few mental mistakes. Other than that, it was pretty good. Only 2 sacks allowed, 6 tackle for losses. But the Panthers played fantastic. 35 points were put up because of the men in the trenches. Estep did fantastic. Lyman did fantastic for his first game. Heck, forever. But that offensive line, with the guy in the trenches, they are the ones that trudged it through. I was worried. I'm like, I don't know how Estep's running game is going to be because it's a new offensive line. Well, I'm sorry that I doubted you because they are here to stay. Now the defense as well. Didn't let up any big plays in that secondary. Brayden Ackerman did fantastic. Ty Roden did fantastic. All those guys, Kyle Bean, everybody did fantastic at the secondary level. They locked down the big plays, and that's what everybody was worried coming out of Middletown because they'd scrimmaged Springboro, and it was deep ball. That was really it. And they're like, oh gosh, what's going to happen in the secondary? Who knows? Once again, disproved my theology. They showed up, and I applaud them. I applaud them. I give a standing O if they need it because they did fantastic. Didn't let up any deep balls or anything, so they did phenomenal. And also, just to add on top of the front 7, only 2 rushing yards allowed, but also only 3 out of the 11 third downs converted. That's how you win football games right there. Not letting the other team convert on 3rd down. That's perfect. Completely cuts out the momentum. And they did it. So getting that ball back to Estep is the reason why the Panthers won because they stopped them at third down. And that's what they're going to have to continue to do. Now, going into CovCath, Coach Ramsey said it best. They're a solid team, very solid team. They got a fantastic program. They have 8 state championships, the last in 2023, so fairly recently. They've got fantastic coaching. They got a fantastic team. Last year, they really made Elder fight for it. 28-20 victory, Elder, but it was back and forth the whole way through. And going into the last drive even, I'm remembering it now, Mason Chumley had an amazing pick to stop any hope that was left for CovCath. Now they're coming back to us with revenge. So they're going to be playing with fire in their home court. So Elder Panthers, they just have to be ready. They have to be ready to fight for what's right to party. I'm just kidding. Niche reference, that's what it was. Anybody who knows me, I do that a lot, especially when I don't know what to say. No, I'm just kidding. I talk way too much. But anyways, this is going to be a very good matchup. Elders beat them 8 times in a row. So Caden Eastep is have to show up, show out, Uptown funk you up. That's right, I'm saying it. Bruno Mars coming right there. Anyways, speaking of Caden, let's go ahead and cut to an interview that I got with him.
It's electric. Walking through the halls, everybody hyping up the game. Everybody's asking, what's going to happen? What's the score going to be? And I'm just like, guess we'll have to find out. But, everybody, you could feel it, just the energy. It's up. For sure, game's definitely on my mind. I don't think I get nervous. I just get a little anxious to get out there. I'm always ready to go. So, yeah, for sure. I definitely, game's always in the back of my mind, but, being at school, I was trying to just keep myself calm and focus up. Oh, yeah, the pep rallies, especially at the end of the day, school's finally done, end of the week, and then got pep rally. That really gets you going. Head straight to Jersey Mike's, get a chicken bacon ranch. That was my pregame meal, and then come back. I bring it back, eat it here, and then we shoot a little hoops, and then round 4:15 probably start getting ready, and we come up for mass since sophomore year.
Sophomore year?
Yeah.
Did you go somewhere freshman year?
Freshman year, I didn't have a ride to go anywhere, so I just packed stuff and
I gotcha.
Just had it here.
Yeah. So, do you have any superstitions before the game?
Basketball.
Basketball, you do?
Yeah, I gotta shoot some hoops before a basketball game for sure.
Okay. So you have a set of
Jersey Mike's basketball. It's kind of it.
Yeah. So you don't do anything for football?
Not really. Sometimes before games, I'll go out throw with my receivers, but other than that, just really because shooting basketball that helps calm my nerves. I know I said I don't get nervous, but it helps bring down that anxious feeling. Just keeps the heart rate down.
Okay.
Helps me stay calm. I try and use the same football every game. That's for sure. Definitely changed a couple times. I try to keep the same football, but it always depends because some days footballs get ruined at practice, and so. But this year I'm better about keeping the one I like out of bad weather and out of other people's hands who might scrape it up on the concrete and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Getting in Josh Metter's hands and punting it across the field. Do you put a little marking or something like that then?
I don't, but the ball that I do like, it has the OHSA logo on it, and so that's the one that I really like to use.
Weren't you using that one during media day?
I was, yeah. That was the same football.
I noticed that was a pretty sweet football.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I definitely feel like it's easier to play now for me because of the experience that I have now. Everything just comes more, the game slowed down from, sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, I can calm myself down, really go through my head, okay, this needs to happen, that needs to happen, and figure out who to throw the ball to, which gap to run through. So I feel like as the years have gone by, it's been easier.
Okay. So does the media attention bother you at all?
No, not really. I just kind of, the pit gets rocking, but I really don't. I like getting in with the student section a little bit, but other than that, I don't really pay attention to the crowd, the cameras. Just kind of keep focused on the game and stay locked in. I've always blocked out the noise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always blocked out the noise, just staying locked in, staying focused, and doing my thing.
How do you do that?
I don't know. It's just kind of I'm out here. It kind of happens during pregame. I go out there, I punt, so I gotta start warming up a little bit, and I mean, that kind of really gets me in that mode, like, all right, like we're on the field. Anything that happens off the field is not my problem. I don't got to worry about it. On the field, that's my business. I'm going to get it done. Definitely exceeding some of my stats last year for sure. Trying to throw more touchdowns this year. Looks like on track to do that. But definitely get another, like, last year I think I fell just short of 1,000 yards rushing. And so this year I definitely want to get that too.
Yeah, and I know you were kind of on track to do that last game too. You're doing spin moves at the line of scrimmage. How do you do that?
Just, you know, last couple years I really haven't done that. It's always kind of been just side to side, and then week one it's kind of just happened, you know. I just avoiding the defender any way I can, try not to get tackled. That definitely improved, yeah. You know, last year I could break out a couple runs, but I mean, that's the farthest run I've had in my whole entire, like, Elder career. So I mean, that aspect of it, yeah. But I think my ability to just keep reading the defense and going to which side of the field that I need to throw the ball to and find an open target. Quick feet, just always being alert. You know, we got a new line this year. They're doing good, so that's going to help us out a lot. But always just staying alert, pocket presence, knowing when I need to get out of there, when I can step up, make a throw. I always had confidence in them. I knew it wasn't going to be like last year, because I mean last year those guys were almost like all like 2-year starters, and so it was like they're all experienced for 1 year, then their senior year it was like, okay, they really got it down. But I mean, I think our O-line definitely surprised a lot of people this year, and that's a huge thing for us, is how good they're playing right now. So I mean, I grew up with Andrew. We went to the same school, and then I mean he's my neighbor too, so I mean, kind of just know him all the time. You know, we had that connection in grade school, and then now back in high school, it's back better than ever.
What do you think your earliest memory with Andrew is?
3rd grade football. That was my first year playing tackle, and might have been his too. And we had a really good season that year. We actually won the championship in 3rd grade. So yeah, that was probably it.
Yeah, hopefully you'll run it back this year with Andrew then, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely looking to do that.
All right, well, thank you, Caden. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, Caden, for doing that interview, by the way. And, I mean, he really said it best. Him and Andrew Lyman have a connection that's been built since the 3rd grade. 3rd grade. I was shocked when I heard that. They had this chemistry that it's like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Played with each other for years. And now they are reunited. Try to get that championship in the 3rd grade. Hopefully going to get that championship now. Now, some other players that we have to look out for from Covington Catholic is Kean Miller and Matt Cogswell. Miller is a running back. Last game, rushed for 116 yards, handed the ball off to him about 19 times. So he's going to be that guy who's going to be carrying the rock for the Colonels. So we're going to look out for him. The front seven's got to make sure they don't let up that big play. And also, Matt Cogswell, wide receiver. Only got 2 receptions last game against Ryle, but 78 yards for both. So we got to be looking out for that deep ball. We got to look out for that yards after reception. So the secondary is going to have to step up and lock him down. Because if you lock those 2 down, then, well, heck, you lock up the offense. But you got to remember, this is a fantastic team. So you can't let up at all against these guys. So it's going to be one heck of a rivalry coming up between these 2 teams on Friday. Now it's going to be at Covington Catholic, so we will not be able to broadcast it. I will be there to get highlights. You'll be able to watch that on Elder News Network pages, my pages as well. So you stay up to date with that game. I'll be doing a post-game report with possibly George Whitmer. If not, then just by myself. But that's it for Elder football for now. All right, this is a little bit tight. All right, did not work as well as I anticipated it to. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off. Purple coverage, everyone. First episode. I'm Eric Mason. Thank you for watching.